Hi everyone, I'm Jodi. Welcome to my channel. I'm really glad that you're here today. And if you live somewhere where the weather is starting to cool a little bit and you are indoors more in that artificial heat, you'll be glad that you have stopped by today too, because it means that it is time for us to revamp our beauty routine, whether it's our hair care, our skin care, or our skin everywhere else. Dry skin is, if it's not upon you, it is right around the corner. But it doesn't have to be, so I'm going to share with you the products that I am going to incorporate into my existing beauty routine. You don't have to throw everything out and start completely over. You just have to add a few extra steps or products into your existing routine, and you should be good to go. So if you're ready to have some fun today, I know I am ready to have some fun today. Let's get started. So if you're new to my channel, by the time we get to the end of the video, you may go, wow, that was all over the place. It's not gonna be all over the place as we get through it, but I have a couple things that are just random in the beginning that I wanna share with you guys. One of them is, I know many of you have been looking for this palette, the Neutrals Matte. And what we love about this is that it's neutrals and it's matte. So it's perfect for more mature skin. It's minus any of the shimmer and the glimmer. So it's nice matte neutral colors. And I think they're more to the cool side. A cool matte shadow palette is not always easy to find. And Too Faced just does not make this one. At least I have been unable to find it going on probably 8 months now. However, due to the holidays, I have seen this one everywhere again, and for the longest time, this one by Tarte was non-existent. And upon further review, and they are everywhere now, this is a nice dupe. I wouldn't even call it a dupe because they're in about the same quality, they're the same price point. Too Faced has 9 colors, where the Tarte does have the 12. The color story is really similar between the two. In case you had your eye on this palette and were in a bit of despair because it was no longer readily available, then you'll be happy to know that this one is available. I found this one at Ulta the other day. The quality between Too Faced and Tarte I don't think is different at all. I think they're very, very much the same. I will say I don't like this packaging. It feels very plasticky, but I don't put the back of this on my face. I put the eyeshadows on my eyes, so I don't really care about what the packaging looks like, but that's available. If you are interested in a nude, cool tone matte palette, then you have some fun new eyeshadow to explore. All right, the other thing I wanted to share with you before we get into the products is, I talked about this a little bit on my Instagram story. I buy a lot of my skincare products from Dermstore.com. This is the Dermstore Beauty Box, and I was sent this in PR as a gift, so I am very grateful, so thank you Dermstore for sending this to me. I'm not on PR lists. I think Dermstore is one of a handful, literally one hand, full of companies that send me stuff on PR lists. There's 21 full-size and deluxe size products in this beauty box. So for $200, that, as I was looking at that, I'm like, that could really be broke up into a lot of different stockings. So I was excited about that and thought I wanted to share that with you guys in case you're looking for value, where you can buy a lot of different products for a reduced price and then break them up into a lot of smaller gifts. I thought this was perfect for that. You're not locked into one brand. In fact, these are some really good brands. It's Murad, which is one of my favorite. It's got Nurse Jamie, which I love her lip scrubber, which that is in here as well. And there's Elemis, which, I mean, who doesn't love that brand? You have a lot of different brands, so you could break that up into a lot of different gifts. So I love that idea from a holiday perspective. The other thing I want to share with you before we get into dry skin is this flannel. Clearly I love the color purple. It was on Amazon, it wasn't that expensive. What I love about this flannel is that, and I wear this flannel all the time, what I love about it is it's super soft, and it's one of those medium flannels in terms of thickness, so that you don't feel like it's suffocating you and making you really hot. It's just the perfect thickness, which is why I think I wear it more often than not, that, and it's super cozy. And I love these bigger buttons because I found as I'm getting a little older, hooking buttons has become a little bit more challenging, and I think that's only going to continue. So I do love the bigger buttons for that purpose. But it comes in a lot of different colors, and you can see it fits just at the right height. It covers everything I want it to cover, but it doesn't look super big and baggy on me. So I wanted to share that with you because not everyone loves purple and it comes in a lot of different colors. So if you're like me and you love living in flannels this time of the year, but you want them to look stylish, the color patterns that are available in this brand I thought were just fresh. It was a fresh take on a flannel, if that even makes sense. So I'll link it down below in case you're looking for some flannels that are rather inexpensive and yet the quality is definitely there. All right, now let's talk about skin care. Should we start with body and hair and skin, or should we do face? Talking about dry skin as we go into winter, a couple of things to keep in mind. We all know you want to take a warm shower instead of a hot shower. If you can dial back that heat a little bit, that would be best. You also want to look for more ointments and creams. They last longer. They help provide a barrier on your skin. Another good habit to get into as we get into winter is as soon as you get out of the bath or the shower, pat your skin dry and then put on your ointment or your cream right away. That helps to lock in any of that moisture that's left in your skin from your shower. I know I like to dry off and then I'll go, I'll throw some clothes on, then I'll do something else, and then I'll put lotion on. But it really is helpful to your skin if you can put on that moisturizer as soon as you get out of the shower or the bath and help lock in that moisture. So looking for things that have hyaluronic acid, which adds moisture to your skin, as well as niacinamide that provides that barrier to your skin is critically important this time of the year. Even those of us that have oily skin, and I'm oily in the T-zone, that oil area still can get dry in the winter months. So you want to treat it almost with as much ointment or cream as your dry areas, or if you have all oily skin, you don't want to overlook those areas thinking that they're always oily, because they will also suffer from a dryness with artificial heat, such as indoor heating, wood fireplaces, things like that. Also, when it comes to your hair, you don't want to go outside when your hair is wet in this cold weather, and always wear a hat if it's cold outside. That helps your scalp as well as your hair strands from getting too dry. Before we apply any skincare products on dry skin, it's really important that we exfoliate. So you guys have good exfoliators. You want to exfoliate your skin, exfoliate your face, and exfoliate your scalp before applying any of these ointments or creams. Otherwise, you're just wasting money because you're applying that moisturizer on top of dead skin, and that dead skin is just absorbing the heck out of that product, but it's not laying on your skin enough to benefit the skin underneath that dead skin flake. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like fish scales. You don't want to put product on top of a fish scale because the fish scale is going to come off, and you really want to go underneath that. I don't know where that fish scale analogy just came from, but we're here, we're living here today. That's where we are. Okay, so in terms of skin, this is no surprise. I had a dermatologist recommend this CeraVe SA lotion 2 or 3 years ago, and I've talked about it ever since on my channel. I put a big tub of this right next to my dad at his house because he lives in Montana where it gets really cold. And I want everybody I know to use this when it comes to dry skin. Whether you have dry skin all year round or just in the winter, you guys, this has been a game changer. And I don't say that very often because to me it just feels like it's oversaturated use of that word or term. This is the pump one, and so I will put this by my bed right before I go to bed. I'll add additional moisture. This is in the bathroom, and when I get out of the shower, I will just lather up all over with this. This is the SA cream, so it is thicker than the lotion. This helps your skin not only feel better, it doesn't feel dry, it doesn't feel cracked, but the next day your skin still feels nice and hydrated. So it's not expensive. You can buy whatever size your budget allows, and I swear by this stuff. If you're over 40, over 50, over 60, and you're having changes in your skin that last all year long, I swear this is an absolute game changer. None of these products are sponsored, I should say. I bought all of these myself. I have no benefit of telling you how wonderful this is, other than the satisfaction of knowing that you will not have dry, flaky, itchy skin anymore if you use this. That's what I get out of it. All right, so now let's talk about your hair. You want to add extra hydration, especially to the ends. Now, I've recently done a complete hair video where I talk a lot about my love for Kerastase products and the product lineup that I use on my hair. But there are other really good products that aren't at that same price point. So one of the products that I will be incorporating into my routine as we go through winter is Redken's All Soft Argan 6. Argan oil is one of the best oils that you can use for your hair, especially on your ends as we go through the winter months where we're inside, where there's a lot of artificial heat. So look for a product that has argan oil in it. We all know and love Moroccan oil. It smells amazing. It has gone up in price quite a bit lately. That's just harder and harder to justify to me. You can get this small bottle of Redken. It's available at Ulta, and you can probably find it at several drugstores. And I believe Amazon might even have it. I got it at Ulta, and I have been using this for the last couple of weeks. Just a little tiny bit, like a dime size amount. It's very thin. It's not a heavy serum. And I just go along the ends, and it gives me a nice smooth down. You know, as you go through winter, the hair starts to feel more staticky. This will really help control that static, but also add that extra layer of hydration to your hair that we need to keep your ends from getting way too dry in, you know, wherever we are, which there's a lot of places. We go in and out a lot in the winter, out in the cold, in the heat, out in the cold, in the heat. If you had a chance to see the live stream that Julie Meikle and I did, she's also here on YouTube. Check her channel out. She's phenomenal. She's not only a beauty content creator and a makeup artist, she's also a licensed hairstylist. And when we talked about products that she likes, I don't know why I keep holding this up like I'm on QVC. We talked about products and brands that she really likes for her hair, and Redken was one that she kept referring to that she really enjoys a lot. And after using this for a couple weeks, I can see why she likes that brand. So the other thing to do to take care of your hair, in addition to your normal routine when it comes to drier winter months, is a weekly deep treatment conditioner. Now, you don't want one that's going to be super heavy because you don't want to weigh down your hair, and we know that product can get built up onto your hair and to your scalp, cause irritation to your scalp, which slows your hair growth, as well as having your hair weigh down and look very dull. You'll want to reach for a weekly deep conditioning treatment or a mask that you can just put on your hair, leave it on while you're taking a hot bath or a warm bath or a warm shower, and then rinse it out. And I typically reach for Kerastase, but I've been trying other products so that I can bring you guys some alternatives or some options. And of all the ones I've tried recently, I like this Kristen S. This is a fragrance-free deep treatment mask. The reason I like this is because it's fragrance-free. A lot of times when you find products that have fragrance in them, the base of that fragrance is an alcohol. So alcohol is so drying to your hair, to your skin. This brand is cruelty-free. It's also vegan. It's sulfate-free. It's paraben-free. And it's gluten-free. And it's silicone-free. So it's free of all the bad stuff that we don't want on our hair, and it's just the right amount of thickness. I would say the thickness of this is almost like a mayonnaise. That's how thick. Rub it all over your hands while your hair has been freshly shampooed, still damp. Put it in your hair from about here all the way down. I like to then put my hair up in a soft clip, leave it there for 10-15 minutes. I'll go do some other things around the house, and then I'll jump back in the shower and rinse it out. Or if you're gonna do a home spa day and you just wanna take a nice warm bath, put some of this on top of your head. I like to then put a warm towel on my head or a shower cap on my head while I have this deep conditioner on, and then rinse it out so that the heat from my body goes up and helps to open up my hair follicles, allowing that product to really sink in to each hair strand, and then I'll rinse it out. So you can start with 10 minutes, but it doesn't hurt to leave it on longer. I wouldn't leave this on overnight. It doesn't say you can't, but there'd be no real value in doing that. But I've loved this for that extra boost of hydration in my hair, and it's a good alternative to Kerastase if you don't want to spend that kind of money. All right, so now let's work our way onto our skin. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you don't have to throw out all your products and have a separate set of skincare products for the summertime versus the winter time. You just want to incorporate a few extra products into your wintertime routine, and if anything, switch out maybe your evening moisturizer so that your skin gets that added benefit of more hydration throughout the evening while you're sleeping. So one of the products that I have absolutely loved, and you guys have heard me talk about this before, is the Midnight Recovery Concentrate by Kiehl's. Adding a face oil to your skin before you go into your makeup routine and allow it to penetrate helps your skin get hydrated and plumped. Plus it helps to lock in any of the moisture that you've just put on your skin through your skincare routine. So I like to do all my skincare, including my moisturizer, let that really sit into my skin, and then I will take a few drops of this. It's pretty thin, it's not a thick formula at all. And then I will put it in my fingers. I'm just putting it here so you guys can see that it doesn't leave behind a residue at all. It has the softest scent, and it just adds a nice hydrated look to your skin, whether you like to apply makeup or not. So I put it on my fingertips, and then I just like to pat it all over my skin to give my face that last little bit of hydration. And then I will go into primer if I'm using it that day, or right into my foundation or my cream products if I'm under sculpting. So this is that product that sort of bridges the gap between my skincare, then this, then my makeup. That's the application layering that I use when it comes to incorporating this into my winter routine. The other thing that I will incorporate more of during the winter in my normal list of products is more facial masks. I like to really lock in that hydration. I want to make sure that my skincare routine has plenty of hyaluronic acid, so I'm depositing hydration and moisture, and products that have the niacinamide that help to create that barrier. And one of the ways that I get that without adding more products into my daily routine is once a week I will do a facial mask that is really heavily focused on hyaluronic acid or niacinamide. And I have enjoyed these a lot. These are by OK, right? You can see it's just O and K, and it has a cute little panda bear on top, but that's not why I love them. I love these for two reasons. One, because of the amount of hyaluronic acid that is in these face masks. And the second reason I love them is because the face mask itself is plant-based, so it's biodegradable. One of the reasons I hesitated using facial masks for the longest time, or sheet masks, was because I didn't like the idea of how many of us are using sheet masks as often as we are and what that's doing to landfills. It just felt like a really quick use of a simple product that then could just be added up. I just could envision big mounds of sheet masks, and it was not something I wanted to contribute to. So I was on this mission to find sheet masks that were biodegradable, cruelty-free, vegan, and had the amount of product and good product in it that I could justify the price. So the good news is I finally found these and went and picked some up at Ulta, tried them, and I've absolutely loved them. This one has hyaluronic acid, this one has the niacinamide, and then here's the other one that has hyaluronic acid in it. So I like to go back and forth between this one and this one just for something different. They're $5 a piece. So as it gets colder out, I won't mind using one every single week, which is about 20 bucks a month. That's a doable price for a good face mask that's really gonna help lock in some hydration and create a nice barrier to leave that hydration locked into your skin. So I've loved these and wanted to pass those along to you guys as well. The other product that I incorporate into my skincare in the winter is a heavier moisturizer in the evening. But when it comes to heavy moisturizer, I don't want to spend a ton of money on fancy packaging. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on some fancy label or some special little metal dip that goes inside of it that I'm probably not going to use. I want the money that I'm going to spend to go into a product that's going to work well and not leave my skin feel greasy and not leave any product on my pillow, because if it's expensive and half it's on my pillow, then what was the point in any of that? So as winter approaches, my evening moisturizer will be the CeraVe Night Cream Skin Renewing Night Cream. And it doesn't take a lot because it's a thicker cream, but it's not so oily that it leaves itself all over your pillow. The consistency of this is more between an ointment and a heavy cream, I would say. Once you rub this into your skin, I wouldn't say dries down, but absorbs is probably the best word I can think of, because you can still see it. You can still see the richness of your skin. You can still see the plumpness and the hydration of your skin, but it absorbs so where it's not tacky. That's probably the best way I could say it. So if you had it on your face, you're not gonna feel like you're sticking to your pillow. I've got some products where I put it on and I know I cannot go to bed for a good 2 hours for it to really get into my skin, or else I kind of feel it throughout the evening. This is not that. In fact, I will sometimes put this on my cuticles just to make sure that they're not too dry. And depending on how the feet are looking, because I don't do pedicures as often in the winter time, I will keep a small one of these where I get dressed and put a little bit on my feet, and then I'll put my socks on so that my feet are just benefiting from that hydration all day. I mean, no one sees my feet that often in the winter, but I still want them to look good. Otherwise, can you imagine that first pedicure in spring? All right, the last product I want to share with you guys is a one product does it all. So if you're thinking, Jodi, I don't want to incorporate any face oil, I don't want to add a little extra argan oil to my hair, that's like 3 or 4 extra steps that I may not want to do, just give me one product that can do all of that, I got you covered. This is by Beekman 1802. This is their multi-purpose Wonder Milk. I came across this product about 3 months ago when I was researching multi-use products that can do multiple things and is not just dedicated to one part of the body or one part of the face, but really just, we don't have time for a lot of different steps sometimes, just give me one thing. So not only is this multi-use, it is petroleum free, it's vegan, and it's cruelty free. It says that it is good for your hair, it's good for your lips, it's good for your face, it's good for your body. You can see it looks very much like a petroleum, but it's petroleum free. And like coconut oil, when you just rub it between your fingers, it melts down to be almost not there. It's not thick, it's not heavy, it has no fragrance. So not only is it good for your hair, it's good for all the other areas that we've covered today. So I love that. It wasn't super expensive. It sells for $38 and would probably last you a good chunk of the winter time because you do not need a lot of it. You saw how much I just used on my fingers, and I've got pretty long hair and I feel like I just covered my hair. I would probably do that same small amount, rub it between my fingers again like you saw me do, and then rub it on the rest of my body as well as my face, because it dries down enough to be not tacky like the CeraVe. So you could use this instead of, and everything could be in one product for the busy woman that is on the go. And doesn't life speed up right now all the way through the end of New Year? It just starts to go. So looking for one product that does all these things, then you want to check out this Beekman 1802. All right, well, you probably have trick-or-treaters at your door. If not, they are approaching quickly as we get towards the end of the day on Halloween. Drive careful if you're out tonight. Remember, there's so many cute little ghosts and goblins running around on the streets. Enjoy those kids and their laughter coming to your door tonight. And I will see you guys in just a couple days. In fact, this Friday is, you guessed it, Friday Face Off. I will see you then. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.